In today's news, largest commercial plane touches down in the British Virgin Islands.
Young local philanthropist Jahleel Cameron thought about the children at the Rainbow Children Home this Christmas.
We have a live interview with Mr. Alton Bertie as well as Alex Wilson, of course, who ran across Tortola on Friday.
Medical marijuana industry to make the territory $5 million in revenue.
And the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force is appealing to the public to solve another murder and 5 men sentenced to death for killing a U.S. journalist, Jamal. These and more stories when 284 News returns.
Is business slow, cash flow down, hosting an upcoming event? We can help. Advertise with 284 Media and take your business or event to the next level by enhancing your present marketing and messaging strategies. Allow our team of experts to create a personalized ad that sets your business apart from all the rest. This could be your business or event. So, what are you waiting for? Contact our marketing team at 284media@cctbvi.com. Advertising with us works.
When you need to stay connected with friends and families at home or abroad, the best choice for you is Freedom. CCT Freedom. With the lowest rates in the market, our Freedom plan gives you unlimited calls and texting. Plus, our Freedom One package includes 10 gigabits of super fast unlimited LTE data and unlimited calls to the BVI, USA, USVI, Canada, Puerto Rico, and UK lines. Why pay for overages when you can enjoy CCT Freedom? Stop by at one of our stores today and speak with one of our representatives to find out more about our CCT Freedom packages.
Welcome everybody. It's Monday, December 23rd, 2019. I'm Kyla Kenesha Forbes.
And I am Javon Wilson. Kyla, we had quite an eventful weekend. I know you were over here covering the J Blacks event.
Yes,
how was that?
The seafood boil, it was amazing. A great turnout. You would think it would just be everyone standing up in a line and getting food, but it was an event.
It was a good mingle event. And we also headed over to Virgin Gorda. We went to Oil Nut Bay. There was the first Christmas market being hosted at the Oil Nut Bay Resort, as well as we had a glam pop-up shop and tea party at Fisher's Cove. So that was very exciting as well.
So eventful weekend for Virgin Gorda.
Both events, of course, local businesses getting the opportunity to display their products and services. So a win-win for everyone, just in time for Christmas. Viewers, we have to head straight into your news for today. On Friday, December 20th, another historic day in the British Virgin Islands, the largest commercial plane landed on Beef Island. It was quite a moment as the 132-seater, it's called the Titan Airways Airbus 318, direct from Halifax, Canada. It touched down at the Terence B. International Airport, and according to the Premier, the first of many to come. The Premier, who was initially against the runway extension, while in the opposition, has repeatedly said that, you know, we have to use what we have until we get what we want. Listening on what he had to say as he welcomed the aircraft and, of course, the passengers alongside his ministers.
You know, I always say for us to God be the glory. This is one of many things to come. Just a few days ago in the House of Assembly, I made a statement, and I keep making a statement and by saying we're going to maximize what we have before we think about whether we can afford or whether we are going towards the full length of the runway, which is an ongoing discussion. But right now, when we have a 318 like this that can land on our runway, coming straight from Canada, that left Canada this morning 7:30 and was a direct flight and landed here, and still had about 2,000 feet left when it landed, shows that we are in for big things here in the BVI with planes of this size. This plane carries roughly, I think, 132 in commercial passengers, but being that this one here is not a commercial flight and not suited for commercial passengers, it's about 50 or 60 passengers around.
The Honorable Premier also got into the prospects of this new reality and the doors that it may open for the BVI's travel industry. He said, quote, "It shows the full potential of what is happening in the BVI. We're in discussions through the BVI Airport Authority and their board with many other airlines that have planes this size and capacity to land. And we're looking to get those through those discussions, hopefully within the next year, that we will have planes this size and some 90-seaters, some going from here to Punta Cana into Miami and from Miami directly back, and some from here straight to Miami, he said. He further mentioned that the BVI airport will look into the acquisition of even more land to accommodate future expansions when the time comes, and attested to the fact that this will help the tourism product, which will inject more revenue into the economy. Now, Kyla, the idea of direct flying has always been a welcomed initiative in the British Virgin Islands. Currently, our residents are almost forced to travel through St. Thomas, which serves as a transit port to international destinations. Now, though a bit of a hassle sometimes, a lot of persons utilize that route because it is cost-friendly in comparison to local flights. So one of the major concerns coming out of this new reality is whether the cost will be competitive. Now, persons do want the convenience of a direct flight at an affordable or at least fair cost, and that aspect, of course, is still yet to be determined, but for the most part, I think residents are very happy about this new option being made available and the accessibility that it will bring for locals and our tourists alike as we continue to improve on the travel industry in the BVI. Now, the premier ended by saying, quote, "The issues we have with airlift will soon be a thing of the past." And Kyla, indeed, with this new reality, it seems very possible. So kudos to our premier and his team for this great new initiative. At least we're exploring it, and I'm very happy to see that.
I agree. Like you said, this is something we've been talking about, and we have to realize we're in the Caribbean, where a lot of our neighboring islands have the same product as we do. So we have to make our shores accessible.
Accessibility is key indeed.
Agreed. More Christmas cheer for the holidays. On Friday, the 20th of December 2019, Jahleel Cameron, young philanthropist, presented a brand new laptop along with other gifts to the staff and the live-in children at the Rainbow Children's Home. The members of the Jahleel Cameron Foundation identified a need when they heard of the struggles that the children were having completing their homework due to the absence of a laptop. They said, "We decided we must help, so we sourced the laptop and we surprised them." This is not the first time young Cameron and the foundation has extended a helping hand to the home. They assist in any way that they can all year round, and even sometimes just stop by to interact with the children. The children in this home cannot help their circumstances, so it's always good to let them know that someone is always here for them, said Cameron. Appreciation was also expressed by the government of the Virgin Islands towards Cameron for his continued support in his efforts. Honorable Dr. Natalia Whitley said, "I know the work that he and the foundation has been doing over the years is well needed and welcome. We know about the work he did previously in raising money for the hospital and all the other works he has been doing in the community from when he was a lot shorter." Javon, Mr. Cameron continues to do great work in the community, giving back in many ways. During the season, we have been seeing different acts such as this from different individuals, organizations, and business establishments. Javon, this is truly what the season is about.
I completely agree with you, and I really love, what I love most about this young man is how he lends himself to community and care, and he shows that, age does not matter.
It does not matter.
Age
It's
does
about
not
heart,
matter,
and
right?
Mr. Cameron is one of a big heart.
Absolutely, and he's been doing so for years. I remember as well when there was the hurricane in the Bahamas, Hurricane Dorian, he was up and about as well, raising funds to assist in whatever way he can. So it just goes to show that, again, age doesn't matter, and a little can go a very long way. And this is what Christmas is about indeed. A lot of persons gift what they think somebody might need, but actually identifying a real need. Like I know CCT was able to give back via like beds and so on.
Beds to the same
Right.
Rainbow Children's Home.
And these are real needs that these children have. So to see him doing this at such a tender age is just really heartwarming.
Yes, it makes
So
my heart smile.
awesomeness.
Still ahead, we are live with local legends who ran from Trellis Bay to West End and medical marijuana industry to train 40 farmers and gain $5 million in revenue. Hear all about it after a word from our sponsors.
Everyone looks to the future. but no one truly knows what the future holds.
The number of people under the age of 20 with type 2 diabetes could increase by 49% by 2050. Let it be known that we all have a 30% chance of developing hypertension.
Globally, more than 300 million people of all ages suffer from depression.
More than 60,000 young adults aged 20 to 39 are diagnosed with cancer each year.
Obesity leads to problems such as stroke, heart disease, and kidney failure.
No matter your race, age, or color, we are all at risk.
These diseases can be managed or prevented if caught early.
But with the right medicine and the right doctors to keep us on a path to live a robust and healthy life,
we will live well.
Welcome back, everybody. As promised, we have two ambitious young men who ran across the island. Yes, from Trellis Bay straight to West End. And Javon have all the details, all about it. Javon, over to you.
Well, viewers, I'm sure you remember on Friday, quite a historic run in the British Virgin Islands. The man himself, Mr. Alton here, attempting to run from Trellis Bay all the way over to West End. Now, in the regular person's mind, that is ludicrous. That is almost crazy. So before we even head into, the run and getting through it and all of that, what would have inspired you in the first place to even attempt it?
Well, I started karate and, just to stay in shape, because the classes are pretty intense. I do Purple Dragon and Fish Bay with Sensei Bevon, and just to stay in shape, I'm just like, we had this group where we have classes Monday, Wednesday, Friday, so we decided to run on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Okay.
And then we started doing the races.
Okay.
So we did the college classics and the series 10K. And, we see this as goals. So it's almost like when you're playing a video game, you have these levels and bosses and that kind of stuff.
Keep moving from one level to the next.
Yes. So we did King Gadamer run up the hill and various different runs. The other day I ran from East End to town. And, as a group, we just decided to do the run from Trellis Bay to West End.
All right. So, Mr. Alex here, you are a little champion in your own right. How are you doing?
Good.
Say hi to our viewers right over there. Say hi.
Hi.
All right. So, Alex, you were running from Seacoast Bay all the way to West End. Were you not tired?
No.
You really? Not at all?
Not even once.
Not even once. Was it difficult for you?
No.
Was this your first time running?
Yeah.
Okay, so I heard that you're in karate classes and you're like a little champion. You joined when you were how old?
5. Actually,
3 years old?
Yeah.
And then you acquired your yellow belt at 4 years old? And then the orange belt at 5 years old? And which one you're heading to next?
Green.
Green and then?
Blue, purple,
Black?
red. No. Blue, purple, black.
Red.
Oh, he knows his thing.
Yeah. He's
Okay.
getting determined to get to that black belt.
All right, so
Yes.
you've been around him in the classes and stuff.
Yes.
What has his performance been like?
It's we focus highly on discipline. So you go in there and it's discipline. Sensei Bevon has been exceptional. He himself has encouraged me with the running because I started running like just over a year ago.
Right.
And then he would encourage me to always do better. So this is where all of this came from.
All right, so on a scale from 1 to 10, how difficult was this? And do not tell me it was not difficult at all, Alton, because we know that
it was. I
very
would
ambitious.
give it basically an 8, and I would say that because my stamina was there, but I started to get some cramping issues. So if it wasn't for the cramping, everything else would have been fine. But the stamina, everything else was there.
And you think that stamina could be attributed to your karate practice?
Yeah, definitely. The sensei and senpai Otis and instructor Javon, they been encouraging me to use this high altitude mask to help with my breathing. It
I
restricts
was
breathing.
going to ask you about that next. What does that help with?
It actually restricts breathing, so it makes it a lot harder for me to do everything. The first time I got it and I put it on, I was sitting down and I almost passed out, just sitting down. So I had to train, eventually get up to that. So in terms of stamina-wise, it has helped me significantly.
All right, let's talk about your meals a little bit. Did you eat before? I don't know. What went into that?
In terms of meals, the day before I avoided dairy. But before the run, I didn't eat anything, which I'm not sure if you're not supposed to do that. But I didn't eat anything. I had Gatorade and I had some Nutrigrain bars in my back. But I didn't need those. Okay. So it was just hydration.
And did you feel thirsty at all, Alex?
Yeah, I felt thirsty.
So there were quite a number of other runners, including Alex's mom, which is Miss Andrea Wilson, who's behind the scenes here with us. But a few other runners. Tell us about that.
Yes, we have our, as we call it, the Tuesday crew. It's a bunch of us who decide, all right, cool, we got to get in shape for class. So we're just going to do some runs and whatever else. We do some other exercises too. So Lennon Dabio was one of the first guys out there running. You know, his kid would be in class on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Right.
And he would just run around the place.
Yeah.
Myself and Renard Estridge decided to join in. Because we're there anyway, you might as well get into it. One of the persons I'm most proud of for this year, and I tell her this, I message her this all the time, is Kelisha Huggins. Okay. She joined in on the run from town, but Kelisha, I mean, we could call it craziest runs, and without hesitation, Kelisha is there.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if she comes last, it doesn't matter what, Kelisha will be there. You could count on that. And then we have others in the group too. Like you mentioned, Andrea was in the run, which was surprising to me because Andrea all week was telling me that she's coming. I was like, Andrea, you ain't coming.
Yeah, but she came through.
Yeah, but then when I reached Parkwood Pond side, I saw Kelisha and I was like, who's that with Kelisha? And it was Andrea.
By the way, viewers, this little 5-year-old outran his mom, Andrea.
Which gave us a little issue, going back to the thirsty part, because then Alex was running with me. And I'm like, Alex has to be thirsty, but his mother has the water. So I'm looking back to see if she's close by, but she was way in the back. So I'm like, Alex, we're going to have to finish this. And I was out of any sort of liquid. So it's like, we're going to have to finish this just like that.
I remember at one point you started holding his hand. Tell me about that process.
Yes. Well, it was partly to encourage him. And I was reminding him that he's a warrior, because whenever we're in karate, sensei or whoever, they're always telling us that we're warriors.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, so I was encouraging him, but then also too, it was for me, because I noticed that when I started to slow down, that I would start to cramp up. So I was like, Alex, we have to speed up, because if I slow down, I'm gonna cramp. So it was partially for my benefit as well, and to encourage him.
Well, it worked out for both of you. Alex, when you got to the end of the race, how did it feel?
Awesome.
It was awesome? Yeah. Did you gain like a whole bunch of new friends? Yes? Yes? All right. So what are you doing for Christmas, Alex?
I'm going to my grandma's, and after Christmas, I'm going to get my present.
Okay, and by the way, viewers, I was being told that Alex was not tired at all after this race. He went home and actually went and put up the Christmas tree. He sang without the help of Mommy. Mommy may have helped. We don't know for sure what happened.
She did not.
But we are very proud of you, Alex.
Yes, we are.
Do you think you're going to go run again on another race? Yeah? You're excited for your black belt next year?
Yeah.
Or the following year? Yeah?
Well, it's green.
The green. You're right and I'm wrong. High five. All right. So after the race, Alton, what was that like? Were you tired? Were you sore?
I did experience a bit of cramping as soon as I stopped. But that eventually went away, which was surprising to me because I've done like shorter races and the effects were much worse. So I went home. I had a whole bunch of energy, so I couldn't sleep or anything. The next day, I went swimming, and I also did a recovery run up a hill, and that's it.
Oh my gosh. I want to get into the mental aspect of this because I know it must require a certain level of discipline to keep going under those circumstances. I mean, you're tired. I'm sure your body at some point is trying to trick you to give up, give in. What was your mental process like throughout the entire run?
I think it comes, it's funny because Claudius is the one person in the group who isn't part of karate. And he asked one time, which is, why do we do karate? And I think this is the part that really sticks out because after the run, he was like, I understand why you guys do karate now because you guys are real warriors.
Right.
For me, there was never the thought of giving up. It's like we set out to do a mission and we had to get it accomplished.
All
So it's
right.
that warrior mindset. This is what we came to do. This is what we're gonna do. So for me, it was just simple. I just had to get it done.
And of course, very important that that type of discipline is being
Yes,
instilled in him
very
from
much,
such a young
yes.
age. So that, of course, that transitions into adulthood. Again, that was one of the most exciting captures we've had on 284 Media. We were excited. I mean, all the persons in the BVI were rooting for you guys.
Yeah.
Powered by iOS. What was that about?
I didn't even know all of this was going on. It's when I watched it afterwards, I was like, Ricky, really? But I mean, that was an unexpected surprise, and I'm glad that, you know, when I read the comments, I'm glad that we
Yes.
all of us could have inspired
Yes.
different people. I've gotten so many comments. I was literally just talking to someone who said it inspired her and her whole family, from her mother, father, everyone, to get fit.
Right.
And I saw a post yesterday with someone talking about you may not be able to do the run that I did, but you know God has a run for you.
Absolutely.
And that's the message.
It's
basically.
inspirational.
You have to do your run. When I'm doing the Series 10K or the College Classic, what I'm focusing on is, okay, this is my goal. I'm not watching at the guys in front like Cliff or all of those
Right.
guys. I came to do a goal. This is my goal.
This is
if I
personal
wanna,
to you.
Yes, if I came here to do this in 45 minutes, that's what I'm gonna do.
All right. So
Yes.
do you intend to outrun Alton's, I don't know, your record?
Well, it's the warrior mindset. The goal is to always defeat yourself. I
right.
always strive to be better than who I was. So, yeah,
More
definitely.
than likely, absolutely. Alex, are you proud of yourself?
Yes.
What's the next big thing for Alex? What are you doing next?
Swimming.
Swimming. All right, Alex, we are very proud of you, and we want to say congratulations and keep up the good work. Yay? All right. Both Alex and Alton, we want to thank you for joining us and, of course, sharing all this inspiration to the rest of the British Virgin Islands. Keep running, okay?
We will.
All right, viewers, back to Kyla with her next story.
Definitely inspirational. So now I challenge Javon to run with me from the office straight to the roundabout, because just as he said, a run is for everyone. I definitely don't think I can do it from Charles Bay to West End, but Javon, we can start somewhere. Yes, up next. As we reported here on 284 News late last month, the government of the Virgin Islands prepares to enter the medical marijuana business. In an effort to enter the market, the government intends to train a minimum of 40 farmers to cultivate the special strand of marijuana. According to the Standing Finance Committee report released late last week, farmers will be able to set up businesses as part of their new medical marijuana enterprise in the BVI. Premier and Minister of Finance Honorable Andrew A. Foy indicated that a number of Canadian and American companies have made presentations about the anticipated medical marijuana sector. It was revealed that research was conducted and indicates a specific strand of marijuana that can be grown in the territory, which is anticipated to be cultivated on approximately 40 acres of land in Paraquita Bay by local human resources. The report went a step further, indicating that along with the cultivation of medical marijuana, a local lab will be established for testing purposes. It is projected that the industry will make $5 million in its first year. The Premier and the government of the Virgin Islands is confident that the new industry will earn more than what is predicted in the budget. Javon and the viewing audience, although the government is quite optimistic about the new venture, some of the opposition leaders are quite skeptical if the industry will generate as much revenue as the government is predicting. Leader of the opposition and representative for the 8th District, Honorable Marlon Penn, during a press conference, expressed to the media that the term medical marijuana sounds sexy, but it is not profitable. He lists a number of jurisdictions, even our neighbor, St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands, which have entered the industry and claim that they are yet to see major returns. Another opposition member questioned the projected $5 million in the first year and then inquired if the government will be collecting the revenue from the initiative via tax or if the government will be entering into the selling of medical marijuana. This is quite a good question. The premier stated that the government will be doing a mixture of both. He said the government will be selling to collect revenue and taxes. He explained that the farmers will be allowed to set up businesses and noted that when that happened, the government will be involved with the sale of marijuana and the taxes. Projected breakdown of revenue will be as followed. Farmers 5%, retail 20%, and taxes/import 20%, with the premier promising more detailed information at the launch of the project. Still ahead, the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force needs your help to solve the murder of a young man that was killed 4 years ago and 5 men sentenced to death for killing U.S. journalists. All this and more when 284 News returns.
What are you really running for, boss? You could have bust a hole in your head. But see, with the competition, it's mean about to bust a hole in your pocket.
I could get my modem, please.
Anyhow, I got something huge to show you.
I gotta be sick in your head.
The whole on string bean, Tina kind of party. Check this. That's LTE1 for just about everyone. LTE2 for you and your boo. And hold on. Bam! Rate so low, you feel like you're free. That's LTE3 for you and the whole family.
Save even more on your internet with new pricing from CCT. Get LTE2 now for only $149. Get LTE3 for the new low price of $189. All packages are unlimited, so there's no overage charge. You don't have to run into Chaz for savings. Just stop by our store and sign up today. Come on over to CCT. Life Unlimited.
Hello?
Wait, you had a lunch and care? You say you were sick? What happened to over the rehearsal?
No, babe. I'm actually watching the news right now. Take a listen.
Topping our newscast today, UFOs seen around Tortola Pier Park.
And District 3 residents outraged over no water supply. They simply cannot bathe. These and more stories when 284 News returns.
All right, babe, just get some rest, take 2 Advil, and I'll see you later.
Bye.
Okay, honey. I see you later. I love you.
It's clear to see that Coconut Lounge is a place to be, the coolest cocktail lounge in the British Virgin Islands. A lounge like no other, with welcoming, professional service, and a breathtaking ambiance. Not forgetting a diverse selection of wines, beers, and signature cocktails. Cozy, comfortable, contemporary. Coconut Lounge at Tortola Pier Park. Visit us today.
Watching 284 News. We're going to go to a quick commercial break and come right back.
It's been said, sticks and stones may break bones, but words don't hurt me. That cannot be further from the truth. Everything you say and do creates an impact. Whether you're 13 or 30, 6 or 60, your actions and words carry weight. They either lift someone up or tear them down. 1 in 5 students ages 12 to 18 has been bullied during the school year. Approximately 160 teens have skipped school because of bullying. The most commonly reported types of bullying are verbal harassment, social harassment, physical bullying, and cyberbullying. Remember, everyone you meet is fighting a battle you know nothing about, and bullying is never okay, whether it's in a classroom or corporation. 284 Media joins the Ministry of Education of the Government of the Virgin Islands in the fight against bullying. When you see it or hear it, speak up against it. Let's end bullying.
Welcome back again, viewers. You're watching 284 News. Now, detectives from the Major Crime Investigations team are seeking your assistance in identifying the perpetrators responsible for the murder of 28-year-old David Nathaniel James, a.k.a. Bushman, who was gunned down at his Free Bottom residence around 9:30 p.m. on the 7th of December 2015, that is 4 years ago. Now, on the 7th of December 2015, the victim was at his residence when an unknown person, possibly known to the victim, shot the victim and fled the scene. Witnesses revealed an unknown male was seen fleeing the scene shortly after the shots were heard. Now, the victim was found by family members and rushed to the Orlando Smith Hospital, where he later succumbed to his injuries. This month marks the 4th year anniversary of the incident. Now, detectives of the said unit are still hopeful that members of the community may have crucial information to assist in identifying those responsible for this senseless shooting to bring some closure, of course, to the grieving families. The mother of the deceased is making a passionate plea to the people of the BVI, hoping that she can identify her son's killer. She said, quote, "The 7th of December 2019 marks the 4th anniversary since my son David Nathaniel James was murdered. A night has not passed since I have not wept over my son's untimely passing, and the fact that his case remains unsolved has not brought me any form of closure. I am humbly requesting that anyone with information that can assist in solving my son's murder to please come forward to the police with information so that it could bring some type of closure to the entire family. I thank the public in advance for any assistance you can provide in this investigation." End of quote. Now, anyone with information relating to these crimes, of course, specifically to this one, you're urged to contact Detective Inspector Vernon LaRoque directly on 368-9809. That number again is 368-9809, or the Major Crime Investigation Team on 368-5682. Again, 368-5682. Of course, all information will be treated with the strictest confidence. Really unfortunate story, Kyle, especially as we come down to December. You know, this is a time for family and friends and togetherness and unity, and to have to remember the death or the murder of one of your loved ones without, at least having the reasoning behind it.
Yes, exactly.
The perpetrators
that's
captured.
the hardest part.
It's tough.
It's hard altogether, but not knowing. So hopefully someone can bring that mother some sort of closure this season. According to reports by the New York Times, a court in Saudi Arabia sentenced 5 men to death and 3 to prison over the killing of the Saudi dissident writer Jamal Khashoggi. The killing of Mr. Khashoggi, a veteran Saudi media figure and columnist from the Washington Post, brought international outrage and even battered the reputation of Saudi Arabia's crown prince, Mohammed bin Salman. The kingdom's handling of the case has also raised concern. Turkey has accused Saudi Arabia of failing to cooperate in investigating the killing, which a United Nations investigator said could amount to obstruction of justice. As the trial proceeds, little information was released publicly. The kingdom never announced the suspects' names, and foreign diplomats who attended the session of the trial were sworn to secrecy. Mr. Khashoggi, who lived in Virginia, entered the Saudi consulate in Istanbul on October 2nd, 2018, to obtain paperwork he needed to marry his Turkish fiancée. This was the last footage of Khashoggi alive walking into the Saudi consulate. Inside, he was confronted by Saudi agents who killed him and dismembered his body. His remains has yet to be found. Officials in Washington and other capitals had called on Saudi Arabia to investigate the case and ensure justice, but it was unclear whether the verdict enough announced recently would appease critics who argued that the killing of Mr. Khashoggi was part of a wider campaign to silence critical voices at home and abroad. The Public Prosecution's Office said that it had examined 31 suspects and arrested 21 of them. Of those, 11 were put on trial. 5 men were sentenced to death for their direct involvement with Mr. Khashoggi's killing. 3 others were given a total of 24 years in prison for covering up the crime and violating other laws. The kingdom did not provide the names of those sentenced. The sentences announced on Monday were preliminary and subject to appeal. Death sentences in Saudi Arabia are usually carried out by beheading in public squares.
Wow. This reminds me of the situation we had in Suriname just recently, where we reported the president of Suriname being convicted and sentenced for killing a journalist and a few lawyers. I think a few teachers were in there as well. It probably would have been about 15 people. But again, just like you rightfully said, it's a mechanism to silence people who have a voice and who has influence, especially in the face of democracy. So I can understand why in countries like Saudi Arabia, where violence is such a big thing, and politics very geared in a specific direction, why they would attempt to do something like this. But it's very unfortunately, however, I'm very happy to see that justice was served.
And that's funny that you said that, because we really don't know if justice was served, because really and truly, Saudi Arabia can paint any picture they want. You're not sure who was sentenced, who is being put to death. We can just hope that justice was served.
Well, I guess that's the system. That's the world we live in.
I guess.
All right, viewers, that is it for today's News Roundup. Be sure to like us on Facebook at 284 Media and 284 BVI on Instagram as well as Twitter. My name is Javon Wilson.
And I'm Kyla Kenisha Forbes. We'll see you again tomorrow as we deliver your daily dose of local, regional, and international content here on 284 News. Have a happy Monday, everybody.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.
Brilliant Hands and Minds tutoring services, one-on-one tutorials in math and English, intense homework assistance, academic enrichment, school projects, effective communication and public speaking development, sign language for adults and children on Saturdays only. Registered with the Virgin Islands High School Certificate Program, Brilliant Hands and Minds can help you too. Offering intense curriculum-based training to help you or your loved ones get their high school diploma. It's time to make your family's education a #1 priority. Hurry, space is limited. Brilliant Hands and Minds Learning Center. We are the trained education professionals.